Welcome to The Art of Charm. I'm Jordan Harbinger. The Art of Charm brings together the best coaches in the industry to teach you guys how to crush it in life, love, and at work. Imagine having a mix of experienced mentors teaching you their expertise, packing decades of research, testing, and tough lessons into a concise curriculum. We've created one of the premier men's lifestyle programs available anywhere, and it's free. This is the show we wish we had a decade ago. Now, this show is about you, so we're here to help you become the best man you can be in every area of your life. Make sure to stay up to date with everything going on here and get some great free ebooks, as well as drills and exercises that'll help you become more charismatic and confident by signing up for the newsletter at theartofcharm.com. If you guys are new to the show but you want to know more about what we teach here at The Art of Charm, listen to the Art of Charm Toolbox at theartofcharmpodcast.com/toolbox. That's where you'll get the fundamentals of dating and attraction, so body language, eye contact, vocal tonality, and a lot of stuff that's more important than you might think. We've also got our live training running every single month here in Hollywood, California. Details at theartofcharm.com. I'm looking forward to meeting all you guys in LA in 2014. All right. Special episode of the podcast. I always love these social engineering, sort of dark side, dangerous dialogues. This is credit card fraud at the professional level. Before the Silk Road website, if you guys have heard of that, there was Carter Planet and Shadow Crew. We're going to meet one of the former top dogs from the site and hear how he started his credit card fraud business as a college kid, how he went to jail and why, and also how he made thousands and thousands of dollars from fraud and how easy it was, even as a smart kid, how to reprogram credit cards, how social engineering was crucial to this scam's success, how he took his credit card factory mobile, how he got caught and became an informant for that, and how he snitched on the Russian mafia. Of course, how payments and illicit funds transfers work, all in this episode of The Art of Charm. Enjoy. All right, so you almost went to jail for credit card fraud. Now tell me what happened there. What's the background?
Okay, so I actually did.
You did go to jail.
I did go to jail. So the way that it leads up to this is I've always been really good at learning stuff online. And I came across this website probably as a 13 or 14-year-old kid, just screwing around, looking for mischief. And I think we were like trying to make one of those things that'll blow up in your backyard. And we found this website that talked about people digging through dumpsters and finding credit card receipts and stuff like that. Yeah. And so years later, I went back to this because I was in college and I forget what turned me on to it, but I went back to that website. Well, guys had posted and blogged underneath it, and they're like, that's kiddie games. If you really want to know how it's done, you need to come to this website over here. And I was like, oh, good God, what is this all about? So I check it out, and this is a full-fledged marketplace for anything white collar you can possibly imagine. It's set up like a message board or a forum. So it's literally everything under the sun that you could ever possibly want. And I thought it was fake at first until I found out that it was not. It was 100% real. And it was fascinating to me because it was like that movie Catch Me If You Can, where that kid is like 18 years old and he's kiting like millions of dollars worth of checks and he's going all over the country. So I thought it was really cool. So I just started watching it. And I kind of made like friends with a couple of people that were pretty active on that board. Another guy was like 19 or 20. He was my age and was just making bukus of money. So I started kind of researching how it all works. And over the course of probably 2 years in college, I started kind of putting things together, and I bought some machinery to make it all work. And then one day, my mentor, the kid that was on there, was like, listen, you need to either do this now or just stop and get a job because, you're nervous about it and you're probably either going to screw it up or, you just need to go out and do it. So
it's funny because I know a drug dealer that told me once, you're either in the game or you're out of the game. You can't have one foot in. And the reason behind it was because, and here was his example, say you're selling like a little bit of cocaine or crack or whatever this guy was selling. If you're selling a little bit or a lot and you've got protocols set up that are security that keep you from having too much product at once and like dealing with people who might be cops or entrap you or people that are shady, people going to rob you, you've got your head in the game. If you step out and you're like, oh, I'm out, I'm done, or I'm doing something else, and then someone's like, hey, man, can I get a little bit of that stuff? And you're like, no, and they're like, come on, man, and you're like, all right, fine, I'll just do this guy a favor. All your protocols, all that safety stuff kind of goes out the window, and that's when he got caught.
Exactly.
And he was like, if I had just been in the game, I would have seen this coming. but I made an exception and it was a one-off, and that was the thing that got him busted. And luckily it was a small amount, so he ended up rolling over on somebody else. But his other business, where he was moving a lot of product, it was kind of interesting because that business was untouched, and they couldn't touch him because he had such good security. But once you step out of the game, so I see what that guy was saying. He's like, listen, either you're going to go full bore into this card fraud. The website is Card or Planet. It's been shut down since 2004. I knew about it when it was in full operation, and I actually knew some of the guys that were on there because I lived in Ukraine during that time period. I know a lot about that stuff. It's interesting that he gave you that as advice because honestly, that's pretty good advice.
It was very good advice. And it's exactly what I needed, that hard sell, that, are you too big of a pussy kind of thing hit me. And I was like, okay, fine, here we go. So at that point, I had a fake ID that I'd already made up with my picture on it. I had a credit card that was completely bogus. And I had a scanning machine that would rewrite the information on the back of the magnetic stripe on a credit card.
Okay.